Mauritania, a country in northwest Africa on the edge of the Sahara, today represents one of the most paradoxical arenas in the field of human rights. Although the state officially abolished slavery in 1981 and subsequently adopted laws in 2003, 2007, and 2015 criminalizing the practice, abundant evidence and independent investigations demonstrate that slavery continues, both in overt and covert forms. This phenomenon is not merely a historical legacy, but a deeply entrenched system interwoven with tribal structures, social relations, and patterns of power. For this reason, slavery in Mauritania constitutes not only a domestic crisis, but also a blatant violation of international law and the country's global commitments. Reports from human rights organizations reveal that tens of thousands of people remain trapped in slavery. Victims are forced to work without pay, denied access to education and identity documents, compelled into forced marriages, and deprived of their most basic human rights. In 2016 alone, over 43,000 individuals lived in slavery, yet only 2 people were convicted on related charges. By 2018, the Global Slavery Index estimated around 90,000 victims. These figures reflect the profound gap between legislation and its actual enforcement. A significant portion of those affected belong to the Haratin community, Black Mauritanians descended from enslaved ancestors. They continue to suffer structural discrimination and social humiliation, often still referred to as slaves in common discourse. Women bear the heaviest burden, forced into domestic, agricultural and pastoral labor, subjected to sexual violence, and pushed into coercive marriages. Children born of such exploitation are also treated as property, bought, sold or transferred as inheritance. In Mauritania, slavery is strictly hereditary, passed from one generation to the next, trapping entire families in bondage. Despite this reality, the Mauritanian government persistently denies the existence of slavery and represses those who expose it. Arbitrary arrests, intimidation, censorship, and restrictions on peaceful assembly remain widespread. Yet civil society continues to resist. Organizations such as IRA Mauritania, led by Biram Ould-Da Abeid, as well as activists like Messaoud Ould-Boulkir, have played critical roles in exposing abuses, even at the cost of imprisonment, threats, and death sentences. The international community has repeatedly reacted with concern. The United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, special rapporteurs, and organizations such as Walk Free and the Corporate Accountability Lab have warned of the persistence of hereditary slavery and emphasized the government's failure to implement laws effectively. They have called for expanded access to justice, compensation funds for victims, social and economic empowerment for the Haratin, and stricter oversight of foreign companies that indirectly profit from forced labor in Mauritania's agriculture and livestock sectors. Today, more than 4 decades after the official abolition of slavery, field evidence shows that the practice continues in both structural and informal forms. Symbolic reforms and weak institutions have failed to dismantle the cycle of exploitation and discrimination. Experts stress that resolving this crisis requires 3 essential elements: genuine political will inside the country, sustained international pressure, and empowerment of victims through education and social support. Mauritania's experience demonstrates that modern slavery is not a local problem, but a global challenge with regional and international implications, fueling forced migration, deepening inequality, and even threatening security. Unless serious steps are taken to eradicate it, thousands will remain chained to the injustices of the past, chains that, despite official denials, remain visible to the world.